76ers have their first preseason game tonight, and I can't wait to watch it. That's right, I can't wait to watch it. I know it's not going to be the real deal. They're just going through the motions, running up and down the court, but I don't care. I get to watch the 76ers run the floor. Let's go. And I expect maybe the first half to be normal rotation minutes. I hope. So I'm just super pumped for that. Before we dive into this video, we all know about the promo code BRODES. Use the promo code BRODES at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off. It's a no-brainer. Get yourself to a game now. Also, I am having a 10,000 subscriber giveaway. You have until Saturday to do what needs to be done to be entered. The video is down below in the description. So if you didn't see that, go watch that when this video is done, and you can potentially win some Sports Talk with Broads apparel. All right, so let's talk about things. It's funny how many tweets I've been getting, how many DMs, comments. Broads, where's the blue and white game breakdown? Why didn't you break down the blue and white game? You're right, I should have. I'm such a Sixers head, I should have. But, I didn't really get around to it. With that being said, though, one of my major topics today in this video will be about something that occurred with that game. Now, let's talk about my reaction on draft night, right? So we go up and we get Matisse Thybulle. We trade with Boston. I wanted a shooter. I wanted someone who can score. I was disgusted. I was pissed off. I wanted someone who we can put on the bench who can actually make a bucket. But we went with a defender from Washington. Now that he is picked and with the Sixers, I want him to succeed. I want him to be good. I want him to be able to be effective and be a beast, because that ultimately means the Sixers are a better basketball squad. I'm okay with showing my frustration at the time and then dialing it back and saying, okay, well, this is why they picked him. This is what he's good at. This is how he can be a really beneficial player to the team. Like, I can reassess and say, okay, I get why they took him. Let's go. The past had happened. Let's go. Matisse Thybulle's here. Let's go. And his defense has been praised to an elite level. These guys, and when I say these guys, I'm talking about the players he's going up against, Brett Brown, they are amazed on what they're seeing out of him defensively. Now, they do say he needs to work on that offensive game, which, I definitely agree, because scoring off the bench is a problem to me, considering we have James Ennis, Zhaire Smith, Matisse Thybulle, who are these defenders off the bench, which is not bad, because we're going to be this team that is annoying defensively. But yes, Matisse Thybulle, getting back to the point, he does need to work on the offensive side. But here's what Ben Simmons said about Matisse. I hated him on defense. I hate him. So far, he's been amazing. His length, the way he plays the game, he runs the floor, makes the right reads, and he can just play the right way. He was the star of the game in that blue and white game. The noticeable play of the game, it was in the second quarter. It was a monster recovery on Josh Richardson. Swat right to the stands. But he also had a couple steals on Ben. He had a steal on Al Horford. Now, sadly, he goes down to slam it and he misses. But his hands and how annoying he is and being in the lane and recovering. They are praising this kid as if it's the greatest defense they've ever seen. Like, they are really, really impressed with everything that he's able to do at his age. Now, keep in mind, he's an older college guy. I believe he's 22 years old. So he's a rookie in terms of the NBA, but he's not an 18, 19-year-old kid coming out of Duke after 1 year. He's a 4-year veteran at Washington University. So he's been around. He has more experience than just a rookie. Obviously, the jump from college to NBA is different, but, his athleticism and his awareness and his mental side of the game seems to be there when it comes to being in the right spots and getting in the right lane and adjusting. If he makes a mistake, getting back to the right position. All of that stuff that comes with the mental side of the game. It's really clicking. Brett Brown says, listen, we keep stats in practice as if we keep them in games. So when they're doing these practices, they are holding these players accountable statistically as if it's a game, and the numbers are just insanely positive for Matisse Thybulle's defense. So I want to see this kid. I want to see what all the hype is about. I want to see the pressure he puts on people. I want to see the pest that he can be. Because apparently it is eye-popping from what they're seeing in camp. And they don't just say this about anyone. Because think about it. Zhaire Smith does good things defensively. Ben Simmons does good things defensively. Al Horford. Matisse Thybulle is getting the ultimate hype about the D. And that is his forte. That is what he is. That's the beauty of his game. But I think the upper management, the coach, the players, never expected him to be as crazy good as he has shown so far this training camp. You also hear news about Zhaire Smith, though, and his confidence shooting the basketball. I can't wait to see Zhaire. I'm a big fan of him. I really am. His story was so nuts last year, and for him to even come back, for him to even be available to play later in the season, it's mind-blowing how he came back. So I love his fight. I love his determination. It speaks high value on what this kid can really be. There was a noticeable takeaway in that blue and white game, and Ben Simmons really didn't get to his spot and take a jumper. We didn't really see that. And that was the hype throughout the summer, and I was full on board with it. It does seem a little weird that he didn't take a shot in that moment. I'm not saying he's not going to ever this year, but if there's going to be a time for him to take one and take his first one, why wouldn't it be a blue and white game down in Delaware in front of half the people that are going to be at a real NBA game? Like, why didn't he shoot that jumper? It scares me just a tad. I'm not going to go to the full extreme, but just a tad. Like, that's the spot. To me, it's a no-brainer. That's the spot where you take a jumper, right? He didn't take one. He didn't take a legit jumper. It's a little concerning. And obviously, all throughout preseason, that's going to be a big topic of discussion as well. Because let's be real, even tonight's game, I'm going to be sitting there. What am I going to be doing? I'm going to make sure that he takes a jumper. I'm going to watch his spots. I'm going to see where he's going. It's obvious to me, though, that he's not going to go somewhere and force it. He's claiming, I will take the shot if I'm open. I will do this. I will do that. If it's available to him. He's not going to, I don't know, maybe not right off the bat, have someone in isolation do a couple dribble moves and pull up. Like, it doesn't seem like that's how it's going to be. He's going to still continue to try and take that to the rim. But if there is a play that develops and he ends up getting a 15-footer wide open, he won't be afraid to pop it. So that's how I see it going down. I don't think he's going to specifically go down and be like, I'm shooting right here and I'm going to make it count. Like, I don't think he's going to have that mindset, sadly, at least not right away. And then there's some other news surrounding the Sixers. There's a little bit of a backup point guard battle between Nato and Trey Burke. A lot of players on the court have stated that Trey Burke has really surprised them. His ability to shoot, he's not afraid to pull it, he's confident. And ironically enough, these two battled it out before, actually, in Utah. And they battled it out big time for a backup point guard position. And, so they've been here before. And it's all love and games. Like, I believe I saw an article where Nato was talking about respecting Trey Burke and saying, like, I want him to succeed. I want him to do well. I want to do well. I want this to be a battle where both players go so hard and do so well that the coaching staff is in a tough position and they can't choose. That's how they want it to be, and that's the right mentality to have. So I like where this mindset as a whole entire organization and team is right now. They even claimed on the first day of training camp, whoa, we've never had anything like that. That was the best first day of training camp I've ever had. The mentality, the determination, the hard work, just the mindset of we're going to do something this year. The focus level was there right from the jump, right from training camp day one, because the expectations are high. They know it. They know they have the talent. They know they have a great group of guys. So it's just going to be super fun to watch. Some other little things, like Elton Brand's going to be involved with the medical decisions and whatnot now, and we know that's been a dumpster fire for a while with the 76ers and injuries and whatnot. Elton Brand is in the mix, and I love Elton Brand. I really do as a GM. I'm a fan of the way he interacts, because there's something to be said about having a relationship with the players. Like, you see the GM come by and it's, oh, that's the, hey, that's the GM, oh, maybe look away, but you need to have some sort of good relationship. And even Joel Embiid talked about it, because he didn't have that relationship with the ex-GM. No names. I'm not going to say the name. But it's important to have that type of relationship, that type of bond. And obviously Elton Brand was an ex-player, so. And lastly, I thought this was funny. The dictionary of the Sixers playbook, the 76tionary. Apparently, Brett Brown has all these terms and all the terminology, and these players are getting into the flow of things. It's funny listening to someone like Al Horford talk about it, because he's such a veteran. He's been around the league, and he hasn't seen anything to this degree. And Josh Richardson, obviously, he hasn't been in the league as long, but that's another thing. He's saying, whoa, there's a lot of words, a lot of terms here. I got to get it going here. So I just thought that was funny and unique. So, hey, listen, of course, I'll be here after the Sixers' first preseason game to discuss what happened. I'm super pumped up for it. There's no denying that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.